To be honest, I feel that I have the advantage in the grappling game also. I feel and I know that I'm better than him even in the ground game. So we'll see how the fight will go, because if I have to submit him, I have all the abilities to do that also. So.
Por tudo que ele vem falando, mas na realidade dia 28 a gente sabe quem é quem. Quem todo mundo sabe que é o campeão da categoria, essa é real.
Man, I don't know. They've been saying a lot, but the fact of the matter is we're going to find out on June 28th. Everyone knows who the real champion is.
I challenge him. Like, yeah. we can do only separate like a boxing match, a grappling match, a wrestling match. Everywhere I beat him, everywhere, however I want. This is how confident I feel.
Ilia Topuria isn't holding back. He has now issued a savage warning, predicting a first-round KO that will leave Charles Oliveira flat on the canvas. Topuria's bold claim has sent shockwaves through the fight world as he promises to end Oliveira's night early. Building on his confidence, Topuria expressed his satisfaction at headlining International Fight Week, reflecting on how far he's come. From battling it out on the prelims not long ago, he now finds himself at the top of the card, ready to take center stage on one of the sport's biggest platforms.
Very happy to be able to headline this kind of event. I remember I fought once in the preliminary cards in the International Fight Week. Now that I have the chance to headline this event, I'm very happy and very excited. This is the happiest I ever have been in my training camps because of the weight cut. I have been able to enjoy the whole process, and I feel ready, man. I don't know, I think you guys are not even expecting to what you're gonna see on June 28th.
In response, Charles Oliveira made it clear that the circumstances mean nothing to him. Whether the belt is vacant or strapped around a reigning champion's waist, it is all the same in his eyes. Speaking with conviction, Oliveira emphasized that at the end of the day, a title fight is a title fight, and that is all that matters.
São tudo título, não importa se ele tem campeão ou se ele tá vago, são tudo título, tem que ir lá acontecer de você vencer.
No, it doesn't change anything. You know, it's a title fight in the end. It doesn't matter if there's a champion or there isn't one. It's a title fight. You got to go in there and win.
Adding to his remarks, Oliveira acknowledged the buzz surrounding Ilia Topuria. He pointed out that the undefeated contender's rise adds an extra layer of excitement to the clash. Embracing the high-stakes atmosphere, Oliveira said that the hype Topuria brings only makes the fight even more thrilling.
Com certeza, principalmente no hype que ele vem vindo, né? Cara invicto, com certeza te deixa bem gigante.
For sure, especially the hype that he's coming, and you know he's undefeated. It's something that makes it even more exciting.
Meanwhile, Topuria shared insights into his original plans. He revealed that his initial target had been Islam Makhachev, recognizing Islam's dominance over the lightweight division. However, he acknowledged that the matchup wasn't in his hands. What was in his control, he said, was his own decision to move up, to embrace new challenges, and to keep pushing forward, exactly what he's doing now as he prepares to face Oliveira.
To be honest, I wanted to face him because he was the guy who was dominating everyone in that weight division. But at the end of the day, I can't control what they do. The only thing I can control is what I do. So I wanted to move up. I wanted to fight for the title. This is what I'm doing. So he decided to move up also. So I can do anything else then. Go and fight whoever wants to fight me.
In response to Topuria's confidence, Oliveira pointed out that his opponent has not shown him the same level of respect that Charles has offered in return. While Topuria has been doing plenty of talking in the lead-up, Oliveira made it clear that all those words will mean nothing once they step into the cage in June, where the real champion will be decided.
Cara, sei lá, cada
Ele
tem
te tratou com o mesmo respeito que você?
Não, com certeza não.
No, definitely not. Didn't treat with the same respect.
Por tudo que ele vem falando, mas na realidade dia 28 a gente sabe quem é quem. Quem todo mundo sabe que é o campeão da categoria, essa é real.
Man, I don't know. They've been saying a lot, but the fact of the matter is we're going to find out on June 28th. Everyone knows who the real champion is.
Despite the heated buildup, Topuria clarified that there is no personal grudge against Oliveira. He acknowledged Charles is a good man and a respectful sportsman who represents strong values both inside and outside the cage. But he warned that kindness won't be part of the equation inside the octagon. With a touch of satire, Topuria added that after the fight, he'll be wishing Oliveira well and a speedy recovery.
Not really. The only thing that I can see and I can feel that he's a good person. He has a good sportsman also. he represents a good values. So I don't have anything against him personally. You know, the only thing is that we're gonna fight. So I'm not gonna be kind to him before the fight. After the fight, I'm gonna wish him all the best and fast recovery.
Further underlining his belief, Topuria expressed full confidence heading into the showdown. He stated that he holds the advantage over Oliveira, even in the grappling department, declaring that he is the superior fighter on the ground as well. Regardless of how it ends, one thing he's certain of, he plans to finish the job inside the first round, whether by knockout or submission.
To be honest, I feel that I have the advantage in the grappling game also. I feel and I know that I'm better than him even in the ground game. So we'll see how the fight will go, because if I have to submit him, I have all the abilities to do that also. So we'll see. I can knock him out, I can submit him, whatever. The only thing I know for sure is that I'm gonna knock him out in the first round or submit him in the first round, because he walks forward. I'm not gonna need to close the distance with him. Since the first moment, we are gonna find each other in the center of the octagon. So yeah, it's gonna be a first round finish.
To leave no doubts, Topuria made it clear that if he hurts Oliveira, there will be no chance for a comeback. He insisted that his power is on another level compared to the opponents Oliveira has faced before, and that once he lands clean, the fight will be as good as over.
If I hurt him, he's not gonna have the chance to come back. Because my power is completely different than the other guys you mentioned before.
Volkanovski, Holloway, Oliveira. Would that be the best 3 wins back-to-back in MMA history?
I don't know, maybe yes, maybe no.
I challenge him. Like
Yeah.
we can do only separate like a boxing match, a grappling match, a wrestling match. Everywhere I beat him, everywhere. However I want. This is how confident I feel.
Adding to the conversation, Daniel Cormier praised Topuria's star power, saying he has what it takes to rise and become one of the UFC's biggest names. Cormier pointed out that only a rare few fighters can bring an event to their home country and pack an arena, and Topuria is one of them. In his view, if Ilia were to headline a card in Spain, it would be a guaranteed sellout.
I feel, especially watching the way people are responding and reacting to him, he has that ability to ascend to one of the biggest stars in the UFC. That's true. Very few people can bring a fight to a country and sell it out. Ilia is one of those guys. If they were to go to Spain, they could sell out the Bernabeu, which is crazy. That's a huge stadium where Real Madrid plays. I feel confident that if he was to fight there, he could sell that out. I think he's that type of star. And I think the reaction and reception that he's gotten since moving up has pointed to that. And honestly, I believe it's rooted in respect, because so many athletes, myself included, when you go up, you keep the belt. You want that security. You want that blanket of comfort to say, if it goes sideways, I still got my other belt. He said, no, I'm not doing that. I'm just going up. I'm gonna go and fight at 155. I'm staying there.
On the other hand, Michael Bisping didn't overlook Oliveira's credentials. He acknowledged that Charles remains one of the most thrilling and dangerous fighters in the division. However, Bisping argued that it is precisely Oliveira's relentless forward pressure and all-action style that could leave him vulnerable to getting caught.
Of course, Charles "Du Bronx" Oliveira is an exciting fighter, and he is one of the best in the division and one of the most exciting. But it's the exciting style that he has that would give me cause for concern if I was coaching Charles "Du Bronx" Oliveira. The way that he walks forward like a buzzsaw with reckless abandon, the not giving a damn attitude, it's beautiful to watch. It's very, very entertaining. Nobody will be booing when Charles Oliveira fights, okay? But it's that reckless style that might get him clipped. Charles Oliveira, as we know, he's got the most bonuses, most finishes, most
5 minutes later.
right? The man's excitement personified, but he takes a lot of chances. Whereas Charles Oliveira, on the flip side, with the shooter box style, he's walking forward, the head's on a straight line, and he's just, the chin's a little up, he's throwing knees, he's throwing elbows, he's throwing everything but the kitchen sink, and we absolutely love it. But that's got him in trouble before, okay? Look at the fights he had, even with Michael Chandler.
Similarly, weighing in, Lucas Tracy MMA weighed in on the matchup, highlighting Topuria's sharp hands as a major factor. He claimed that Topuria's boxing skills are on a different level compared to Justin Gaethje's, with Gaethje and Dustin Poirier having been able to land clean shots and drop Oliveira. Tracy predicted that Topuria would have no trouble doing the same, and perhaps even more decisively.
He's getting dropped. It's gonna happen. If Justin Gaethje, with his eyes closed, looking at the ground and then the ceiling on a second shot, is dropping Oliveira, Ilia Topuria is going to find this guy's chin. Ilia is gonna find it. Okay? Charles Oliveira against Dustin Poirier. We all know that was a great first round, just like this one. Okay? We all know it was a great first round. Dustin rocked him. That's even before he dropped him. He rocked him. And then he dropped him. He was piecing him up with the hands. I know Oliveira was doing great work with the clinch knees, and that was a competitive round, but Poirier landed like 55 significant strikes to Oliveira's head. At the end of the day, Ilia Topuria does have great wrestling. He does have the lighter man skill, and he does have the ability to pull something like this off. If he drops Charles Oliveira brutally, he will jump on him immediately and has a good chance to get the submission.
In contrast, MMA Guru offered his take, backing Oliveira's chances in the high-stakes clash. He pointed out that Charles has the tools to get on inside with Topuria. He created chaos and threatened with takedowns. Guru emphasized that lightweight is a different animal compared to featherweight. The finishing power, he said, is on another level, and that could play right into Oliveira's hands on fight night.
Very intriguing stuff. Very, very hyped up fight. I'm leaning towards Ilia Topuria. I think Charles Oliveira can win. I think he can, he can get in there. He can clash with Ilia Topuria. He can threaten a takedown. It's different at lightweight. The finishing potential at lightweight is very different than the featherweight division, When at featherweight, you see a guy like Ilia Topuria who just can knock you out. And all of a sudden, they stand out as this, insane finishing potential type of guy. You've got Josh Emmett, who might get a KO once every 5 fights, and all of a sudden he's one of the hardest hitters. But in terms of danger, and Ilia is a guy who throws himself into danger in these fights, and Charles Oliveira is, if you get dangerous with him, he's it amplifies his level of skill. It does amplify his level of skill. However, this needs to be said, and Ilia Topuria said this not that long ago as well about this matchup. Oliveira has lost a lot, and he's been dropped a lot, and he always has a moment where he gets hurt quite often.
Further fueling pre-fight speculation, Bedtime MMA shared his prediction for the pre-fight tensions, stating that Charles Oliveira will dominate Topuria in the stare-downs with calm composure. While he expects Topuria to bring the trash talk, Bedtime MMA believes Oliveira will remain collected and unshaken, sending a silent but powerful message before a single punch is thrown.
I'm gonna say Charles Oliveira will absolutely mug Ilia Topuria in their stare-down. I mean, he's gonna be looking down at this little super villain, Joker chin activated, just staring a hole through him, and Ilia's gonna be standing there probably yapping, trying to I'm gonna knock your head clean off your shoulders. Who's Joe? Who is Joe? I feel like Charles is just gonna be stoic and silent and completely mug Ilia in the stare down. I'm willing to bet on it. This is going on my bingo card. I'm gonna say we get a Charles Oliveira zesty clinch, bro. I think Charles Oliveira is gonna whip out all reliable. He's going to activate a zesty clinch of Ilia Topuria up against the fence. He's going to be jitting his butt out a little bit. If you guys remember the Islam fight, or you remember the screenshot of Ian Gary doing that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I think this is a very underrated lock of the night. We're gonna see a zesty clinch at some point from Charles Oliveira, okay?
Adding further weight to Topuria's hype, Luke Thomas expressed confidence in Ilia's chances. He praised the significance of this fight for Topuria's move to lightweight, highlighting the excitement surrounding what could lie ahead for the division if Ilia emerges victorious.
I love this fight. I love this fight. Topuria going up at 55, I think I would have loved to see him stick around at 45. The weight cut was a problem. We all know the story. Here he is at 55. We already know his power carries. He seems driven. We just saw a guy in his 20s win the welterweight title. It'd be really nice to see somebody in their 20s win the lightweight title. Like, that would be a lot of fun. Oliveira is an absolute guaranteed war horse that you know will bring the fight to Topuria. And I suspect Topuria will win. I had not seen the odds. I do believe that is probably coming. But I love this fight, and I love what it means for Topuria to be at lightweight. Again, it's one of those things where I wish... Now, he had some epic fights on his way out the door at 45. I just wish he would have stuck around longer. But, again, same kind of thing. The possibility of what's ahead.
Reflecting on his decision to move up in weight, Topuria spoke about how the jump has transformed his entire approach to the fight game. He emphasized that the extra 10 pounds has made a world of difference, freeing him from the burden of grueling weight cuts. In the past, he said, those 12 weeks of camp meant sacrificing enjoyment as he juggled strict professionalism inside the cage and in the kitchen. Now he feels better than ever heading into the bout.
At the end of the day, that 10 pounds makes a lot of difference, you know, in my life. Because before I had to be like, for 12 weeks cutting the weight, I haven't been able to enjoy like anything, because I have to be like professional at the same time in the fight game and also in the nutrition part. So this time I have been able to enjoy the whole process, and I'm very happy.
In addition, Oliveira reflected on Topuria's move up to the 155-pound division, drawing a comparison to his own journey. He highlighted how the transition hadn't been easy for him, as adapting to the challenges of the lightweight ranks took time. Oliveira noted that Topuria has yet to face a top contender at this weight, and that the upcoming clash will reveal whether Ilia is truly ready for the elite level at the lightweight division.
Forma, cada vem de um jeito, né? Eu demorei pouco para me adaptar no peso leve, né? Quando eu tava lutando de pena, né? E eu não sei da parte dele, mas a categoria peso leve é a categoria mais difícil que tem.
It's difficult, you know, everyone's different. You know, I obviously took a little bit of time to adapt to lightweight when I came up from featherweight, but, you know, we're going to have to see. He doesn't have the experience yet fighting at this high level, so we're going to have to see.
E vai ser como sempre foi. Sempre quero olhar o olho no olho e mostrar quem realmente é.
Yeah, that was the first time that we met, but, you know, it is what it is. We're going to look each other in the eyes and we're going to see who the real one is.
Com certeza, aquela contra o Michael Chandler já passou, é uma nova fase, é um novo momento, é um novo adversário, então considero ser gigante.
For sure. The one with Michael Chandler is in the past now, so this is a new phase, a different moment. Yeah, everything's new.
Finally, tying into the narrative of Topuria's ambitions, Chael Sonnen weighed in on Topuria's move up to lightweight, noting that when Ilia made the jump, his sights were set directly on Islam Makhachev. However, Sonnen highlighted the problem at the time. Topuria wasn't even ranked, something that didn't sit well with Makhachev's camp. This, Sonnen explained, led Khabib Nurmagomedov to step in and call for Topuria to take on another contender first, before earning a shot at Islam.
Ilia moved to 155. 45 days before Islam moved to 170, and Ilia spent all 45 days trying to fight Islam. And it was to the point that Khabib even spoke about it. And Khabib said, hey, we've already fought the smaller guys, and we've taken all the risk, and we've given them all the opportunity. But the bottom line is Ilia is not ranked here. He's not even ranked. So give him whatever fight you want to get him whatever ranking you need to, but you got to give him a fight somewhere else. We don't want to just fight the 45 pounders that are moving up. These two are probably going to find each other somewhere. And if we are building to an organic grudge between two guys, we've got to have our fact pattern down.
As the tension builds and fight night draws closer, one thing is certain: this clash between Ilia Topuria and Charles Oliveira has all the makings of a classic. With bold predictions, contrasting styles, and legacies on the line, fans are in for a showdown that could reshape the lightweight division. If you're hyped for this fight, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more breakdowns, predictions, and post-fight analysis. Drop your pick in the comments section below, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update as we count down to this epic battle.